Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But and it's just you know, even with the character, it's like I know it's changed now, but I just didn't even know Tommy's on the run and he's hiding. It's like, but yeah, I've seen it, and I won't have anything to do with it, unfortunately, just because I don't want to risk the reputation of you know, hey, what are you doing that thing for? But
I'm all for
but I've heard a lot of stuff about it. I mean, it just shows you that it definitely can be a movie. But you know, Saban has their own team of people. They have their own writers, their own production company, their own directors. They keep everything in house. And there is a director I worked with that was probably the worst. His name was Marco, and it was Priscilla Presley's husband at that time. And I swear, I'm not even lying, dude, he had blue suede shoes on. You can do anything with my blue suede shoes. And he ended up directing an episode. It was such a cluster that Paul Schreier took over and finished the directing on it. But I just remember the blue suede shoes. I was like, are you kidding me? Oh my God, Elvis Presley's blue suede shoes. All right. Yes.
I wanted to thank you because my love of Tommy started me on my writing, and I'm now in school for writing and directing.
Sweet.
Yeah. And I love seeing all these stuff that you post on, all the silly pictures that you're always posting on your Facebook is hilarious. And I'm like, yeah, you're such a goober.
I know, that's why you get what you get.
Yeah.
You get what you get, you can't throw a fit, or you get what you get, and I don't get what, okay, yes.
But my question is, and I'm sorry for embarrassment, but I want to know what the deal with that singing episode was.
The singing episode? Yeah, that was like, I was a writer like you that thought it was funny. It was just, you know, cheesy stuff and everything I had to do in opera. The funny thing is, my Oma, I'm German. My nationality is, which I never said this either, but it's, like, my whole family is like from, you know, Germany, and they're from Greece. Poland, so I can hear the Polish jokes, and Czechoslovakian. So my Oma and Opa, they speak German though, always. And my grandparents on the other side spoke Greek, and it was like, I was like, you know, Boca Dumkop Scheisen is a bad word, it's all I remember. Boca Dumkop, whatever. Boca's fly, but anyway. But it just was an episode in which you had to sing every line. Oh, you know, so, but my grandparents were opera singers, so that's why it was so funny. But singing is, for me, is not, it's, you know, one of those, everyone's got those fears of like, what does Jason fear? It's like singing, probably dancing, and actually reading is I just hate reading. I hate reading out loud, you know, because when I was in school, it's like people like made fun of the words that were like, what are my fears? Do you know the 3 fears? Do you know my 3 fears? Let's see if you know me.
3 fears?
Yeah.
Dancing, singing,
So we'll never see you on Dancing
Sky.
with the Stars. No Dancing with the Stars in your future?
dancing, singing, I forget.
And reading.
Oh, yeah.
See, when I train people, I go through like lifetime experiences. And because I read in that one class, and I said the wrong word, and I said it again, the kids made fun of me, and it like put this thing in my head. That's why I don't want to damage kids, because like later on you think of that stuff. All right, so what? The word was gerbil. All right, I didn't know what a gerbil was, like a mouse or whatever. I don't know. So I said gerbil or something, and people started laughing. And I was like thinking, laugh again, dude. I'm probably gonna go to jail. But anyway, I was young, and so then I said it, and they're like, you don't know what that is? And I was like, dude, get out of my face. I don't care what it is. You know, but I was saying it in my head. I would never be like that. I was saying it into my head. So yeah, that kind of stuff like that really kind of puts things. You know, you have one thing that you can look back in childhood and say, it's because of this, and it's because of that. You know what I mean? I did a stupid thing, Piper thing, a long time ago, from a studio called Splash Studios, an interactive game. I was like Piper with the flute of all things. I don't blow the flute, but when I do, the dragon dagger. I was gonna say I blow the dragon dagger. Anyway, so I did this thing, and there was this thing where I had to sing some, you know, like, see, you have no problem. Anyway, the guy's like, well, obviously you're not a singer, you know, just an actor. And I was like, dude, anyway. But you ever had those moments before?
Oh, yeah.
I had a moment on set. We used to get celebrities all the time, and I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're famous. I don't care who you. I will get along with you and you. Doesn't matter who you are. If she's like some big time actress, who cares? We're all going to be treated equal. And I was very strong about it. And people were like, oh man, don't, you know, this girl comes in, and they said, we got a very important guest. She said, you know, this and that. And I came up and said, what are you so important for? She's like, you know, all stuck up. And I was like, you're not important. You're just like everyone else. Let me show you a tour around the set. Well, then her husband called. It was John Davis, who's done every movie in the world, one of the richest man's, and he appreciated that about me, and that's when we started a new project called Trip Hansen, Teenage Spy at the time, that Universal bought, so it just leads into that, and I think she will remember me more for being honest and treating her like an everyday person, you know, either that or she's like, no one's ever treated me like that, whatever. But, so I had another guy come to set, and they're like, you know who this is? I'm like, no. And they're like, well, come on, man, Jason, you don't know? Do it. And the guy's like, I'm thinking, dude, if he licks me, I'm gonna punch him in his face. And it was Gene Simmons, you know? So he was from Kiss. I don't know this kind of stuff. So it's kind of embarrassing because being out in the celebrity world, I really don't know. Like I said, I don't watch TV or anything. I did a show called Miko with the little kid that was from Jerry Maguire, right? The movie. And so I was thinking Jerry Maguire in the movie already. I don't even know who the little kid is. I mean, I've seen the movie and it's like, cool, yeah. So this guy comes up and everyone's all treating him special, you know, and all that stuff. And I'm like, you know, who's this guy? And they're like, well, that's Mark Maguire. And I was like thinking like Jerry Maguire, the movie, I guess. I mean, maybe he's part of the movie. And you know who Mark Maguire is, the baseball player? Yeah. He was on GQ. He was the hottest thing at the time. And I went up to him and said, hey, how's it going? I'm thinking he's doing the movie. And it's like, they're like, yeah, this is Mark Maguire. I'm like, oh, cool. And he's like, baseball player. I'm like, oh, do you play professional or, you know, I didn't know. And then he looked me up and down. And he's like, yeah. So that didn't make good impressions at that. So when people came in, like big 10-foot black guys were like, you know who this is? I'm like, yeah, you play basketball, right? And I said, I didn't know. I mean, what else? You know? And so yeah, I was right. Most of the time, I was right. But we had so many people. Wayne Gretzky, you know who he is. I don't really watch a lot of sports, but. He wanted me to come to his house and exchange autographs, and then my little girl got a big kick out of this. She pulled an old, she's not in here, she's tired of my Q&As. She pulled an old piece of paper out and was like, Daddy, come here. She's like, you were invited to Michael Jackson's house? And I was like, yeah, stay away from Michael Jackson. Oh, you're a girl, you're a kid. No, I didn't say that. Anyway, she's like, you were invited to, what is the ranch or the, Neverland. So we were invited, and my little girl was so excited at the time. But we were invited a lot to meet the president and this and that. The only thing that I did not like about that is that they would tell me about the Make-A-Wish Foundation kids, that this kid was dying, and his last wish is for you to meet him, and that's in Kentucky, and I'm like, okay, well, let's go. Unfortunately, you can't go, because I'm like, then why are you telling me? It was like overwhelming that this, you know, the kid asked to see me. You know what I mean? And it was like, it really is a whole side of celebrity where your wall starts building, and I'm like, dude, don't tell me these things if you can't make me go. You know, if you don't let me go. Yeah, it was terrible, and it wasn't, you know, it's just the demand of all these things, and then the kids were like, you know, if you look at the old videotapes, we would interview in character. It wasn't Jason, it was in character. So the kids thought we were real. So kids were like, hey, with that Oklahoma bombing, how come blah, blah, blah. And so I told Savannah, I was like, you either got to let them know we're actors, because I can't handle the pressure, you know, of this stuff. I mean, went to like cancer patient stuff, and it was just terrible. But then I thought it'd make people happy. But then we started interviewing as Jason Frank and, you know, stuff as actors, so kids would know, because they didn't really know, you know. Today, they're like, one guy the other day said, hey, I was at the this live show, you know, because we didn't do the live show. I didn't want to tell him. He's like, and then you were the white, that was you, right? And I was like, yeah, probably. I mean, where was he? He was like, you know, at some McDonald's parking lot. I was like, probably. I didn't want to crush the dreams. I didn't want to tell the guy. But anyway, a few more questions. And what I thought we'd do is well, the easiest way to do this stuff, there is Jenna. Hey, Jenna, remember I was invited to Michael Jackson's house?
Was he black or
remember yeah. You wanted to go, huh? There's a whole bunch of stuff like monkeys and rides and all that stuff. All the kids love it. Oh, so I thought we'd do is maybe line up wherever, and then we'll take photos, and then you can bring your one item up or whatever. I can sign and stuff like that. But a few more questions. No, a little late here, so we're gonna go. We'll do an hour anyway. Is there anyone coming up to the room next, or you're not part of the?
I do.
We'll find out.
Does your badge say staff or?
If they are, they're not anymore.
Well, you're hanging out with me. You're not hanging out with me. Where's your buddy you're hanging out with?
I don't know.
All right.
We have till 6:15.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. In the episode of Green with Evil, when they first showed you, like doing that kick, that spin jump kick.
Yeah.
Oh, is there like a name for that?
No, that's funny you say that, dude, because that was my kick I created back in the days.
Oh yeah.
You see, there's two kicks. There's a jump spinning hook kick,
Yeah.
and then a jump crescent kick. And when you do a crescent kick, it's like you do this. But when you do a hook kick, you know, you do this. So what I did is combine the two kicks together and did this free flowing kick. And it was so weird because I went to a tournament years later, like 5, 6, 7 years later, and Ernie Reyes and all those guys, you know, Ernie Reyes Jr., his dad and all that, went to his tournament. And they're like, dude, you were like the guy behind this kick, and now we're all doing it. And now it's just, so it feels good to create something like that. Also, I created another kick called a flip kick that's never been done before. And it's kind of a sliding kick. It's like, Tony, let me see, I won't kick you. So you have, if you're in a fighting stance, which real quick so I can show, if you're in a fighting stance, come here. If you're in a fighting stance, you have what's called like a thrust kick, and then you have like a trajectory kick or a round kick. This kick goes like this, wham, and it hits right in the solar plex. And I showed Melvin Gillard, and he called me, the UFC fighter. He's like, dude, I dropped Clay Guida with this kick. I dropped him. So at the whole camp, at the UFC camp, they called him the Green Ranger kick. And, it was awesome, dude. And he dropped a lot of big fighters. I was like, yes. So it's like a special kick I treat. So I like doing stuff like that. But there was really no, I call it in my system a jump spinning crescent kick. And stuff like that. So, but there's no specific name. I know there's another combination. I call it rainbow because it was like a rainbow.
Yeah.
But say rainbow kick.
Not because like I was like when I was younger and stuff, and I saw you do that kick, and I was under the impression like it was called like a swift kick or something, you know?
Probably on Power Rangers.
Yeah, maybe.
So, yes, we'll go here, and we'll go there, and we'll go there.
For the intro for the Power Ranger movie, the first one, was that your idea to do the jump or the skydiving scene in the beginning?
No, it was cool though, dude. Like, I wasn't into skydiving then. My wife's been jumping for about 12 years. I've been jumping for 15, right, Tim? I don't know your 3 years. When I first met her, she answered the phone and said, "Is this Tammy?" I said, "What do you mean?" She's on launch. She's like, "Is this Tammy?" I'll say, "This is Tammy." So whatever. But I've been jumping for a long time, and that was before I started jumping. So it was awesome though. But see, the problem with the skyboards, I'm trying to get the skyboard, and I'm trying to reenact that. The only problem is everybody who skyboards is dead because it's such a dangerous thing. With a lot of complications of your reserves and your main canopies wrapping to it. So, but I'm still going to do it. I'm still working on it. I just got to find an instructor to do it because that's like old school, you know. But I'm going to do it. Get a white skyboard. Dude, I'll go out like a legend. It'd be awesome. Yeah. But like the only thing I ask if something does happen, then people come up and like Instagram next to me. Sick! Yeah! Anyway, don't forget to post it on my page. Alright. Yes.
Yeah, these were really fun to watch as a kid. What I wanted to know is that there's this little thing that says level 1 right here, and then
Let me see that green one real quick.
Yeah.
Can I see it? I'm gonna see, I'm
Are
gonna
you
give you guys a
Green Ranger
quiz.
fan or White
I'll give
Ranger?
you a quiz and see if you guys know this. And Tony, you can't say nothing, or I don't know if you know it either. But so the Karate Kid, so go ahead.
Yeah,
The Green Ranger and the White Ranger, which the green one I'm re-releasing on my Facebook page as DVD with a cool cover and a dragon cover, a dragon patch in it, and some other stuff. So you can pay attention to that. Sam, one of my workers there who holds the Guinness World Record for the most double nunchuck strike, he's doing it and stuff.
Now,
But go ahead.
my question to you is, how come number 2 was never released?
Well, this one?
You had the White Ranger cut.
Yeah. That'll be number 2. Look, this is 1, this is 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the 2 green? Because I switched colors, dude. But here's the thing. And so I was the White Ranger, and then I was wearing red, so I was preparing you guys for the next red Zeo thing. The thing with these ones is I started this one, and it sold really, really well. And then it wasn't about money, but I did have percentages of these. And then this one sold, and I had like a really good chunk of this one, but then we got in a fight, not a fight, we had a disagreement, and Saban pulled them off the market just so I want to make money, you know what I mean? Which is fine. I thought it was a good DVD. These kids, all these people in it, this is a guy's name that used to be an old partner of mine, and in the background, and once I got Power Rangers, he turned around and sued me for whatever nonsense reasons. And these guys, this Daryl Gatto, a really good friend of mine, That's his kid. So from Red Dragon, if you look close, this kid has a Red Dragon patch. That's where I trained. Red Dragon Karate. Chris Casamasso was my instructor, who was Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat movie, the stunt guy. So this one, if there is a mistake on this one on the cover that really bothers me. Does anybody know what it is? Jenna, what? That's a mistake. Yes, that was a mistake. That's Power Ranger. No. If you look at this one here is a perfect sidekick, and it's listed as the roundhouse kick. And the roundhouse kick is listed as a front side kick. And the reason why I'm so always anal about this one is because I'm a martial arts master at the time, so people think I'm retarded. Ooh, Goat's not. It's like, dude, I know, but no one's ever mentioned that to me. Like, you know, I guess just look at, but the side kick is a perfect side kick, and it says roundhouse kick. It says roundhouse kick, leg up like a snap kick, pivot the hip, roundhouse kick, snap back, and this is totally wrong. But anyway, and also with these videos, it was my whole ad-libbing stuff.
There's something in there that you do.
And Tony took credit for it. Tony Oliver took credit for writing it. Thanks, Tony.
There's also something in there that makes me laugh every time I watch it. You do something in there called chicken kick.
Yeah, the chicken. That's what it's called, though, dude.
Yeah.
It's chicken kick. It's like it's an up kick. Bang. You just don't have the chicken block. Hey, dude, Karate Kid, chicken kick. That's the kick. I met the Karate Kid the other day too.
Ralph Macchio?
Yeah, he's alright. I mean, I paid for a picture. That's fine. No,
And what makes me laugh is the kid that's watching you do it. They like go right into him and not to you. They like really just pay attention to him, and his face while you're doing it is
like
incredibly funny. Yeah, exactly. his face is just like intense.
I think that was mine. I know a lot of those. I had all my kids in the karate class do that for me. But we'll go one more question, then we'll line up, take some pictures and all that stuff. I know your question. Is that Kool-Aid on your shirt?
Yes.
Do you drink Kool-Aid? You don't even know what it is, do you? Do you know the Kool-Aid man? You do? All right, very good.
You're getting oh yeah all day.
What's your question, buddy?
Why was the Grinch into a bad guy?
Why? Give me my wallet. Just it was written that way. You know what I think it was? It was a way to show people that even if you've done bad stuff, you can always be good. You know what I mean? So it was one of those things. And it was on that script. But anyway, that's my theory on it. So, all right. Well, where are we gonna line up and take the photos? Sony, who's the yellow SPD. That's.
You guys line up right here.
And Tony, who's the red SPD. So we'll just, I guess here's what we'll do. Yeah, if, let me get a pin. Yeah, you have a sharp back tomorrow? Alright. Guys, if you are on Facebook, just post pictures or, you know, whatever, comments and all. I'll try to get back to you. It's a nice 4th of July. I'm going to watch the fireworks with Jenna somewhere, wherever. And I know there's a costume contest coming up at 11 tonight. I'm going to try my best to be there. Which, if I say that, I'm probably going to be there.